Hi everyone, my name is Emily Zaitsev. I work in the Office of Study Abroad and International Experiences here at UMass Lowell. The purpose of this presentation is to give you a bit more information on the Study Abroad program at UMass Lowell, to provide you with information about experiences and get your students started with next steps. I also hope to give you information about some frequently asked questions that you probably have at this point to get you and your student interested in all of the great opportunities available to you here at UMass Lowell and abroad. With that being said, I'm going to share my screen and we'll start the presentation. Okay. We are located in the GPS building, Suite 150. You'll find us on the first floor. We're happy to accommodate walk-ins, but we also have many opportunities for drop-in sessions and appointments as well, which I'll explain in just a few minutes. So why study abroad? Study abroad is a stepping stone to your educational and career goals. In an increasingly global economy, international experiences and study abroad experiences prepare you for the job market in ways that help you build skills that employers want. While you're abroad, you can work to create your international network. It also helps to expand your worldview and your competency with intercultural relations, as well as to learn or solidify a language if that is your goal while studying abroad. Study abroad also contributes towards the Riverhawk Experience distinction. Our HED is a signature program at UMass Lowell that allows for students to blend their personal interests with their academic major and earn recognition towards their UMass Lowell degree. Study abroad can fulfill a RED requirement, an RHED requirement, so we encourage all students to think about this option. You'll hear a lot about the RHED program throughout your time at UMass Lowell, and it blends nicely with the study abroad opportunities that are available to you. So we definitely encourage all students to look at this as an opportunity to enhance not only their skills, but their personal interests in relation to their academic majors. So if you choose to study abroad for a semester-long program, you'll remain a full-time UMass Lowell student for the duration of your program. While you are abroad, you can also utilize your typical UMass Lowell Financial Aid Award. And your courses and the credits received for those courses do apply towards your graduation requirements. So when you are away for a full semester, you are still considered a UMass Lowell student. We have quite a few different types of program opportunities abroad as a UMass Lowell student. The first opportunity available to our students is direct university partnership exchanges. Historically, we have had over 120 of these in more than 44 countries throughout the globe, and we're always continuously evaluating and reviewing additional program opportunities as they come along. In this slide, there is an example of one of our exchange programs that is quite popular amongst our students. It is with the universities within the Hessen Exchange Program in Germany. There's some information about the Hessen Exchange listed here on your screen, but we always do like to highlight this program because it's one of our oldest reciprocal exchange programs that we offer, meaning that students from those universities in Germany come to UMass Lowell. We send our students to those universities in Germany, and because of this great relationship, it does lead to a more cost-effective program as well because of the relationship that we have. Another type of program is a faculty-led program. What this is a UMass Lowell course taught abroad by a UMass Lowell faculty member, and you would be traveling with a group of your UMass Lowell peers. These are typically short-term programs, and as you can see on the slide here, these are examples of these faculty-led seminars that traveled over this past spring. We have program offerings in the summer and winter sessions, as well as spring semester programs with travel over spring break or in late May. The third option for study abroad program opportunities is through our international education organizational partnerships. So we refer to these as partner-led programs. Now, by partnering with these different organizations, this allows our students to have access to over 1,000 study abroad programs throughout the globe at all times of year. These are just some examples of the study abroad partners that we work with. The way that these programs run is that the partner organization works to facilitate the logistics of the program for your student at the host university or through the host program. It is a bundled program fee, so rather than paying UMass Lowell tuition and housing for the term that you're abroad, it would be one bundled fee to incorporate the tuition and fees and housing into one program fee. There's a lot of inclusions in these programs, such as on-site orientation, airport pickup, facilitated cultural immersion activities and events. So a lot of add-ons are included in these partner-run organizational programs. So in general, these are the general steps guiding a student from the beginning of the process through the experience. The very beginning of the process is that we encourage all students to explore the program opportunities available to them. You would go to uml.edu/international programs, click search all programs, and then you can view all of the program opportunities available to you. You don't have to be already enrolled at UMass Lowell to see this directory of programs. You can actually view it right now. You can see the programs available to your student. Once a student has a good sense of some programs that are of interest to them or that work well with their majors, we then encourage your student to meet with an academic advisor to map out their academic plan. So what this means is the student would go meet with their advisor, and let's just say they wanted to study abroad during the spring semester. Your advisor would work with you to determine the requirements that you would need to fulfill during that spring semester term as if you were here at UMass Lowell, because those are the requirements that you would also need to fulfill while you are abroad. So your advisor gets you set up in terms of what requirements you need to fulfill. You, the student, would do some research on your own to familiarize yourself with the opportunities available to you. And then you would come into our office and we can review all of this together. So we would review your necessary requirements. We would review potential program matches that work well for you, and then get you started on the right steps. The next step would be to apply. Our office has a few enrollment minimums, such as a 2.5 GPA minimum requirement, as well as no active disciplinary sanctions. Regarding the GPA minimum of 2.5, please note that that is our UMass Lowell requirement for GPA, but outside programs may also have their own GPA requirements. So when your student is reviewing program options, it's important to review the GPA of that program specifically as well. So then you would start the application process through UMass Lowell and the program, and then you would be off on your experience. Now, this is a very simplified way to think about the general steps, but it is kind of a three-step process that you can see here with a lot of details in between, but those details we would review with your student during our meetings with them. Now let's chat about funding your experience. So one misconception is that study abroad is unaffordable, you can't use financial aid. And those are actually, very much untrue. So there's a lot of financial aid and scholarships available to students. As I mentioned previously in the presentation, since you are currently enrolled as a UMass Lowell student while you're abroad, you will still be able to maintain your financial aid award. So that could be state aid, federal aid, need-based aid, merit-based, as well as most private scholarships. So when you have that funding available to you for semester programs, it does actually make study abroad more affordable than you may think. For short-term programs as well, there is some funding available, but that is on a case-by-case basis based on the student's financial package. There are a lot of funding opportunities, however, and we do have links throughout our website where students can learn more about funding opportunities as well as scholarships. There is an internal UMass Lowell Study Abroad Scholarship that students have access to, and there are a lot of external scholarships that, while we do not manage them within our office, we do have links to how students can research those and apply for those scholarships. We do have some quotes here on the side of the screen from students who have studied abroad. It's always great to hear firsthand quotes from students who have been abroad and returned, and to see just how life-changing it really can be. And here's another great example of a student experience. Our student Trang, she went to South Korea. She was a chemistry student. So again, a misconception is that STEM students might not be able to study abroad. But as you can see here, Trang did study abroad in South Korea, and she actually received an $8,000 very prestigious national scholarship for study abroad called the Gilman Scholarship. So we were really excited to send her off to South Korea with that scholarship. And here on campus, we do actually have an Office of National Scholarships that helps students find and apply for nationally competitive scholarships. Some listed here that are eligible, for study abroad use. So if your student is, ready to study abroad, excited about the process, we also encourage them to connect with the Office of National Scholarships to see what might be out there and available for them to apply for. So let's reiterate a few of the things that's important to get you started for studying abroad. So you want to create an academic plan that includes an international experience. It's really never too soon to start the planning of a study abroad experience into your degree pathway. So even when you first arrive at UMass Lowell, you might want to mention to your academic advisor, hey, I'm thinking of studying abroad. Is there a term within my degree pathway that works best for my major? And your advisor can provide you with some guidance on that, and also help you think about what requirements you want to fulfill while you're abroad. For example, do you want to fulfill some of your major related requirements? Would you like to fulfill some arts and humanities or social science requirements? Or perhaps you have some free electives that you can fulfill. So these are all things we want to think about and talk over with your academic advisor, and then circle back and bring to us. Number 2, so that is what I said, to research programs. You'll want to explore all of your options through our searchable directory of programs, through the various program types: exchanges, faculty-led, partner-led, and then there are some opportunities for service learning and internships also. So you really want to think of the 3 W's: the when, semester or short term; the where, if you have a location preference that meets your academic needs; and the what. Do you want to study or intern or perhaps a service learning program or a combination of all 3? And then all of that points you towards staying on track for graduation, maximizing your funding options, and having a really amazing study abroad experience. 3 is the application process. So again, you'll want to apply for approval to participate through the UMass Lowell Study Abroad portal. And then you'll also need to complete a secondary application for your host program. But we would guide students on the process for this, just in case there are any questions about the next steps in the application process. And then you'll want to prepare to go abroad. So for example, if you don't already have a passport, you would definitely need to apply for one. You would need to start the visa process if your program or country requires you to obtain a student visa. You want to complete all of your enrollment forms. And you'll also want to register your travel with the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, referred to as STEP. This is a free service for U.S. citizens and nationals traveling and living abroad to enroll their travel with the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate. So by enrolling your travel, you'll receive important information from the embassy if safety concerns arise. It will help the U.S. embassy in your location contact you in the event of an emergency, and it will help family and friends get in touch with you in case of an emergency. So again, this is a free service that's offered to all U.S. citizens and nationals who are traveling. So we encourage all of our students to do this as part of their preparatory process. And then meeting with study abroad. It is a required step, and we often meet with students throughout the process many times, and that's exactly what we want. We want to be sure that you have all of the information that you need. We want to be sure that you're on the right track, because all of this will set you up for a successful study abroad semester. This information here on this screen will be updated for our upcoming fall semester, but in general, there are many ways to contact our office. We have study abroad information tables weekly held throughout the university. We try to rotate where those tables are on campus so we can reach all majors. We have getting started sessions offered weekly. We have drop-in Zoom advising sessions online where no appointment is needed. So if you have a quick question, feel free to drop into our Zoom advising. We typically hold those twice weekly. And then we also offer individual study abroad advising appointments, both online as well as in person. So we'll be updating this information for the fall semester, and it will be available on our website. So as you can see, there's a lot of ways to contact us, and we do encourage students to reach out with any questions that they have throughout the entire process. So in addition to our website, we have some really great resources. As I mentioned, firsthand information from students is sometimes the best information that you can see, because you get to see what students are really experiencing while they're abroad and how it changes them. It's wonderful to hear the reflections that students have from the beginning of their program through the middle to the end of their program, to see how they've changed and what they've experienced and how this will get them on the right track for either their career or personal ambitions down the road. We have student blogs listed on our website. We always have rotating student blogs for students who are currently out on programs. We have news features on our website, and we also have social media. So we love to post, important information on social media, but we also really enjoy posting student testimonials, student pictures. We enjoy having, quote, student takeovers of Instagram, for example, where students who are currently abroad, for a day or a few days, document what their life is like abroad. So it's a really great way to see what's going on in the world through the eyes of UMass Lowell students. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. So thank you for joining this information session. We really do hope that all of your students think about studying abroad, whether it's for a short-term program over a summer break or a semester-long program. Any international experience is a great experience, and it really helps you in your career and your personal ambitions. And it's something that here in the Office of Study Abroad, we are very passionate about, and we're excited to pass that passion on to your students as well. You can reach us in the GPS building, Suite 150. We can also be reached by email. Our email address is studyabroad, all one word, so studyabroad@uml.edu, and we're happy to hear from you. Thank you very much.